everybody, it's Katie with Compton Comp Travel. I am here with the amazing Tim from The Big Payback. Tim, how are you doing today?
Doing great, Katie. Thanks so much for having me.
Yeah, so why don't we get started? For those that haven't heard of The Big Payback, why don't you tell us a little bit about your channel?
Sure. Back in 2014, it really started out as an experiment, but I've always loved to gamble, play slots, and I posted a few videos, and I really thought it would be a way to like drive traffic to a website we were creating. And since then, it's really just taken off all on its own, and it's become, it's just become such a fun thing for me to work on over the past number of years now. Yeah.
That's awesome. So it just started off by that first upload, or do you have a huge jackpot story that's very memorable that you'd like to share with us?
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. One of the first slot videos I ever did was of my largest jackpot ever. And it's a myth when people say, oh, you can't win on free play or anything like that. And I remember, and this was crazy. It was back in October of 2014. My local casino had a high limit version of Zeus. And I only had like, I don't know, 5 or 10 minutes. I wanted to use the free play, and I had a good amount of free play. And the machine, it would play up to $45 a spin. And so I hit the button once. This was on free play. I hit the button twice, and I had another $20 in. And so on the third spin, I got the bonus. And at the $45 level, and filled the screen with Zeus for over $20,000, and then almost did it again. And so it netted out to a number I'll never forget, $33,175. And yeah, and even when I was recording, I didn't have my settings right on the phone, and I was like, oh, I can't say anything, right? I can't react. I mean, this is back in what, 2014. It was, there were others that were doing slot channels at the time, but it was still relatively a new territory. Not like it is today. There's a lot of smart people doing very cool stuff in this whole niche. But yeah, back then I look at how I did it back then versus how I do it now, and yeah, it's completely different. But it's still always a classic case, and you just never know. And I'm of course happy I got that on video.
That's amazing. Is it safe to say that Zeus is one of your favorite slot games, or do you have some other ones that you enjoy playing?
Yeah, Zeus, of course, will always have that place in my heart because of that. And it was just such a great game. As a lot of slot players know, if you find a machine and it really works for you, a lot of times, or I should say many times, it just doesn't last, right? And that one didn't last at my local either. It's not, and I'm not trying to imply that the machine paid out more than you put into it, but it was certainly a reasonable, a very good bet. And I've won many jackpots on it. But then it went away, and as many good things do. But yeah, lately especially over the past year, there have been so many good games coming out. I really enjoy the Mighty Cash series. And it's kind of ironic because when they initially came out, I didn't play them that much. And then I just started playing some of the newer ones, and I've hit jackpot after jackpot after jackpot, and I just find them just really a lot of fun. Let's see, it's so hard to like just narrow it down to one, but yeah, Mighty Cash is a lot of fun. A classic, Wonderful Tall Fortunes, I think is a great game. A newer game I tried was 88 Fortunes Lucky Gone. Very cool game, very cool.
Nice. So, for someone that, I mean, you have a lot of experience with playing different casino games. Do you have a certain strategy that you use while playing?
Yeah, that's a really interesting question because ultimately you can't beat the machines. But there are certainly things you can do to make your experience more enjoyable. And that's really what it's all about. So one of the things I like to do is what I call progressive betting, where I will bet from min to max on a game, especially when you're not penalized on any level for betting minimum.
Mhm.
And that way you can extend your bankroll. You can get a lot of play for your money. And you know what? There's nothing better than hitting a jackpot at minimum bet
Yeah.
too. And if you never bet minimum, well, you'll never have that experience. And a couple of the largest jackpots I've had over the last couple of years have been with very modest bets. And if you just keep, even if you have the money to keep just going crazy at it, it's um, I still like that. I still like the idea of taking that shot and having that really unique win on the minimum level. And of course, hey, that's not to say when you get a great bonus at max bet too,
Mhm.
hey, that's always a lot of fun.
Yeah. So for it sounds like you've got a good strategy for playing. I think that's smart to switch it up. I don't really have a strategy when I play, but I do notice I like to bounce around on my bet
All
amount.
right.
For some reason, it just makes me feel like I'm starting over and I didn't lose as much. Maybe.
Well, and you know what? It's all about having fun. If that's what makes you have fun when you're playing, that's great. And another thing is to take a lot of breaks, walk around, see what's the different games that are out there. And that's certainly one thing I do with my channel. I showcase probably more than most channels out there a variety of games. I always try and play something different. Whether that's a new game that just came out or a classic that's new to me and new to most people that maybe came out 10 years ago. But a lot of the retro games are just so much fun.
Nice. Now, would I wanted to ask you what sets your favorite casinos apart from others? And if you feel like naming some of your favorite casinos, I'd love to
Yeah,
hear
yeah.
about them.
Gosh, favorite casinos. Certainly, I do love my local. I will. My local is Jack Thistledown Casino. What separates, I would say, a good casino, one that I really enjoy versus just some of the others, is first of all the personal service and the customer service that they give. Not all casinos understand that they're in the service business. I mean, it's crazy. Some really get it, and some don't. And the ones that don't, well, I just go down the road. I mean, it's not hard. But yeah, a casino that gives great service, that has a good variety of games, that has a very nice and safe atmosphere. Um, that I really enjoy. And I think my local does a good job of adding new games, but still retaining some of the classics. And other great attributes. Another one I'll throw out there that I really enjoy is Greektown in Detroit. Great place. I always have loved it up there. Great food, of course, always helps. But yeah, a place that can give me a good value for my money with reasonable offers and just a fun place to go to. That's where I'm
Nice. And speaking of offers, diving a little bit deeper into that, what makes a great casino host, in your opinion?
at. A great casino host. Gosh, good question. And I tend to travel. I do a lot of road trips, so I haven't. And of course, with this wonderful COVID that we have, I haven't been flying anywhere. But I look forward back to Back to being able to do that when I can. But yeah, a good casino host is responsive. A good casino host will be responsive, attend to your needs, especially when the requests are reasonable. I tend to be, I would say, a fairly low maintenance player. I don't ask for a lot. But when I do, I expect that it's attended to, especially if the request isn't out of the ordinary.
I agree with that. And I think that's there. And it probably, since you're like a low maintenance player, like you said, it makes a difference too. And they take it a step further. They provide
Right.
even more service than you asked for. And you're like, blows your mind out the water. You're like, wow, thank you.
I like to play, right? I like to travel and go to new places, and when I'm there, I enjoy playing and not having any drama or anything like that. So it's not, yeah. I don't really require that much, right? So, but having somebody, but as I mentioned, I certainly believe in good customer service. So somebody who's responsive is the main thing, and that can help out on when I do have a request, of course, I mean, that's where it's at.
Well, I wanted to, for people that follow your channel, and for people that don't, that are curious to learn more and, check your channel out, what can they expect coming up? Do you have plans for expanded, or how you've expanded, and what's coming next for you?
Good question. Certainly COVID, it did set me back a bit. When the pandemic hit, YouTube used technology instead of people to perform certain functions. And a lot of channels such as mine really got taken back a few notches. We'd launch a video and it would perform very well, and then it would just go off a cliff. And that is, fortunately, we haven't seen that in maybe about 2 months or so. So a lot of what I've been doing lately is just trying to claw back some of the traffic that I had in the past. And it's one of it's a love-hate sometimes relationship working with YouTube. But hey, I certainly understand they have a lot of challenges to solve. I definitely can understand that too. And at least these challenges eventually seem to have gotten rectified. But yeah, I mean, lately I've been focusing on quality. I've been focusing on launching a variety of games, searching out new games that people haven't seen, and showing something different than you could find on most other channels. So you're always seeing a game maybe in its best light, in a unique, like seeing like the unique features of a game. So I really try and focus on that. Another thing I've launched in the past few months is my Best of Jackpot Hand Pay series, which I just show jackpots, and I just people who aren't exposed to the channels, maybe instead of watching like hours and hours of footage, well, you can watch one video which just showcases like how the jackpot happens, and people seem to have really enjoyed this new series. So that's been a fun thing that I've been putting together, and as each jackpot occurs, many times I'll make kind of like a director's commentary part of the video, right? And so that's been a lot of fun too.
That's so awesome. I need to go check out this series. I've been seeing your jackpot videos and need to dive deeper and check it out, because I love watching jackpots. I love seeing the energy of a big win, and it just adds more excitement. So for those that haven't seen you, where can our viewers see more of The Big Payback?
Yeah, I'd love it if everybody would go to youtube.com/TheBigPayback. And that's my channel homepage. And yeah, you could see I think I have close to 1,800 videos now. And while there are some duplicates, most are unique. And if you have a favorite game, if you search for it, more often than not, you'll find it. And you can always request me to play games that you'd like to see too. But yeah, youtube.com/TheBigPayback. And I also have a website, TheBigPayback.com. And that's something that we're continuing to invest in and build out for the future. But right now, the channel is really where it's at. So going there, hitting the subscribe, hitting the bell button really helps me out.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Tim, for your time. I've loved getting to meet you, learn more about you, and dive deeper into your channel and how you've grown.
Oh, thank you so much, Katie. It's been a pleasure. I really appreciate it.